Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is the horoscope for Taurus. If Taurus is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card is the Six of Cups, which has everything to do with pleasure. Not a bad way to start the day. And so usually I'm reading late at night. Now I'm reading early in the morning. I get up before everybody else. This is a better schedule for me. It's nice to do the reading so early, right after I've been dreaming. Okay, so let's take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay, so we're just coming up close to the solstice now. We're really going into this period of time. I just realized how dirty my nails are. It's been out in the dirt. Not this morning, but yesterday. So that's pretty bad. All right, let's see. So we're going into summer, going into winter, depending on where you're at. We're going into a lot of celebrations and festivals and things like this. And so it makes sense that we have this kind of jovial, pleasurable, maybe some leisure, some sensuality, these kinds of kind of magnetism towards connection to the things that we find beloved, the people that we find beloved. And so we'll start here. We have a person standing here, kind of fragmented, but you can see here's the head, here's the body, the legs kind of up. We have another person right here, arm raised, head up, almost kind of, I imagine dancing. Okay, now over here we have, this absolutely looks like, well, it looks like an eye, kind of. You can see with the pupil in the middle. But then raised like this, it reminds me very much of some kind of cup, goblet. It does not look dissimilar even to this kind of shape of this cup, right? So we have a filled cup. We have a cup that is quite ornate and beautiful and filled to the brim with the emotional waters. Over here we have what I imagine is a high priest, a hierophant. We can see wearing a mask or some kind of cover of the head that has antlers or horns. Here we have, just kind of covered in a robe or some kind of dress, some kind of maybe almost like I imagine like a ritual robe or something. Up here we have a heart, and here it looks like holding a butterfly. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking there's just such a connection to all of the things in your life that kind of, it's not just about feeling good, but it is about kind of filling up your emotional, spiritual tank, right? You could think of it as like a gas tank, and you're filling it up with these beautiful moments, these moments of admiration and devotion, a connection, both, I mean, amorous, it could be family, it could be, you know, these deep kind of spiritual emanations of agape, divine love, love of, you know, of God, goddess, the cosmos, the ineffable, whatever it is that you call it or experience it as, having this kind of, I mean, just, it is a, I like to think of it as like having a heart with a string that is attached to another, you know, to the greater heart. But really, it isn't that, is it? They are bonded. They lie over one another. They are connected, heart to heart, forehead to forehead, right? These places where it matters so greatly, these psychic, intuitive, heart, beloved, love. It's a necessity. It's not a desire or a wanting. It is a necessity, as air is a necessity to breathe. And so I see that there's this period of time here where, yeah, you are living a life in devotion of love. Right? And that's manifesting in probably quite a few ways. Hopefully, you know, my hope for you is that this is a love of self, a love of the work that you do, a love of family, a love of the beloved partner, you know, somebody or something in your life. It doesn't have to be a human. It could be you know, our companion animals that we have. You know, most of us have anyways. It could be, you know, something that you've created or that has been given to you, an interest, something you like to spend your time doing, whatever it is, you know. This is my hope. We've had a lot of graduations lately, blessings or not blessings, I'm sorry. I was thinking confirmations and dedications and birthdays and things like this. It's a busy time of year, this going into summer. And ultimately, you know, I think about, what do I actually hope for these people in my life? Most of them younger, right? Beginning their adulthood or even, beginning their childhood. And the only thing that I can really think is, of course, I want them to have success, you know, however they quantify success for themselves. But ultimately, I'd love them to live a life where they know love, right? And again, it's not just romantic. It's about finding things that, you know, get your heart burning aflame, your eyes filled with stars, excitement. And not just a put on, right? Not just everybody's doing this, you know, in videos or online or whatever. I want to do it too, which is fine, right? We all learn a lot of things by watching the YouTubes or some of these other platforms. But my real hope is that they find things that they love, that speak to them. And I feel that way for everybody that I come in contact with. If we could all find something, you know, at least one thing, hopefully many things, that just, you know, they get you excited about living. They are something that you go to bed thinking about, and you wake up and you think, I've had a breakthrough. I know what I can do here. I know the way forward. I cannot wait. To have that in your life is such a blessing. It doesn't always just show up at our doorstep, though, does it? This is something that we have to cultivate for ourselves. This is something that we have to go looking for. You know, I think about this a lot. I don't know. I've always thought about this, and maybe it's a little strange that even when I was a kid, I thought about this. But it's like, you know, you meet people who have these like really, they seemingly obscure interests, hobbies, or things that they're really good at. Like I think about, you know, somebody that's really good at like yo-yos or something. Like, how did you ever find out that you were good at yo-yos? How did you ever find out that, you know, you can eat a bunch of do those like hot dog competitions or whatever it is, right? I'm trying to think of like random stuff. But it's funny because life, there's so many things to try. I mean, so many things, and to invent for yourself. I think about games that we used to play when we were kids that we would kind of make up, right? With whatever we had around, a stick and you know, like maybe a old tire, and it sounds like I was living in like a junkyard here, but you know, whatever. A little rope, and you know, and then you have some kind of game, and you figure it out. How are we gonna make this fun? You know, and ultimately, it's amazing to me that there's so many things out there, things that you may not even know you're good at or that you enjoy yet. And that is the beauty of life. There's so much to find. This is the energy here. Now, we also have right there in the center. So I feel that you are so filled with this wonder, with this awe, with this motivation to be propelled forward, searching for, and maybe it's not even a searching, it's just going with the flow of, right? Letting the universe lead you to places that maybe you had not thought of. Finding things that you maybe never even considered to be kindred to your spirit. And yet here you are looking and finding and experiencing and being filled with this beautiful love and motivation. What a wondrous time that is. It's something you can't pay for, right? You can pay for the things that you are that you're trying out, right? Different hobbies and such, but you can not pay for that feeling. That's something that is absolutely cannot be created by anything. There's no pill you can take for it. There is no situation where they can artificially create this feeling. Maybe, I don't know. Listen, I say that and then I step back a little bit and say, well, maybe, I don't know. They have all kinds of stuff out there and I'm not privy to. I have no idea. But I would say for the most part, for most of us living our little lives, right? This is something that we have to make ourselves. This is the magic that we have to create ourselves. And so we look over here and we have that high priest, that Hierophant, okay? And so I feel in this time, there's also really a movement into, the spiritual work, right? I feel this, and I think in the last reading for Taurus, we kind of talked about this. A move towards taking these kind of positive feelings and perspectives, this posture you're in life, of kind of being open-minded, open-hearted, open and willing to try other things, new things, to explore and adventure. And I feel like this is very alive in your spiritual zones as well. So I can see you maybe going out, experiencing some different maybe religious activities or ceremonies, or, spiritual classes, or, different kinds of, therapeutic modalities, whatever it is. And so I feel this strengthening in this realm of being kind of, a holy being, which we all are, right? But, I feel you're really leaning into that aspect of yourself. This is part of the identity that you have, as being somebody who is inclined towards, spirit, maybe your religion, maybe it's, an organized system that you are interested in. Maybe you are a practitioner, an occultist, you have a composite kind of belief system going for you, which thumbs up, same. But it's very detailed, complex, and refined. Okay, you are somebody who spends time in this realm. You probably, have years under your belt as well. Because the Hierophant is obviously an elevated position. This is the head of the temple. This is, I don't know what, I'm trying to think of I was going to say something about like the Catholic, the head priest, or, I don't know. I don't know their hierarchy. I'm sorry. Maybe it's called a bishop. I don't know. Maybe if you do know, let me know. But yes. So anyways, let's take a look. We also have, it looks like an M up here. We have an M. Now, I also was thinking, I feel like we have a Scorpio energy in here. And we have the Scorpio energy, and we have it with, and I turn this over, it's J-O, and I almost think this is a B. It reminds me of G, job. Yeah, so I feel like this is maybe a Scorpio person at the place that you work at, within your work. A coworker, maybe a client or a customer or something like this. And now we have two people here, one on each side. Okay, and I feel like building something together. And so I feel there is a beginning to have a more established relationship with one another. And I think that this is, there's a kindredness here. Now, is this love? Is this amorous? I don't know. It could be, but not necessarily. I think there's a fondness. But I also think that there is an ease in the way that you communicate, so you work well together. Okay, you just kind of have each other's backs. You know what you need, what they need, and so I think this is somebody you deal with kind of on a regular basis. Now we also have a horse here, and you can see the head right here. And so I feel that there is this sense of movement, but also this horse is not, it's not galloping, not trotting around or anything. And I feel that there is really an emphasis here on taking your time. Even though this seems like a quickening, especially because we have that energy of the Six of Cups, which can move pretty quickly. This is a sense of pleasure, right? Of excitement, ecstatic, of a sensuality of life, right? And so it's easy to just fully indulge in that, and then it's not very sustainable, right? So I feel like there's this sense of taking it slowly, taking your time with things, letting yourself feel, maybe not as, potently at times, but letting yourself go through this, with an ease to your step, taking it all in, looking at the details, stopping, smelling those roses, right? Now we also have the cow. No, that's not a cow. That's a goat with the ear. No, not a goat. Oh, Lenore. It's a sheep with the ear that comes up like that. Yeah. So we have the sheep, and the sheep is to me very much, I think, of this kind of, serene, at ease, taking their time, right? Standing, grazing, being with one another. There is a sense of kind of a tight family there. Being close to one another. Spending time alongside one another. So I feel that you are close with at least a couple of your family members. Maybe this is chosen family. Maybe this is actually family of origin. But I do feel that there is this ability to, be able to call each other up, go and see each other, go hang out. There's not a lot of conflict there, which is awesome to see. A lot of my readings, not a lot, but a good, I would say like 50%. There are profound problems within the family. And this is a situation where I think you've dealt with some things in the past where, you've had to set some pretty clear boundaries, but that has led to this healthier dynamic within the family, and the ability to enjoy each other without hurting one another. Okay, so we also have, it looks like the number 10, 10. Okay, so I think we saw all of these. Yes. All right, we're going to move on. Sometimes if I pull it away, you can see things more clearly. And the funny thing is, even when I go to edit and look at the videos, get them ready to be put out, I see completely different images in the pulls. So it changes. It's like, I see in the comments sometimes people say, oh, I saw this, why didn't you see this, or whatever. It really is specific to the reader, to whoever's viewing the thing. Now, sometimes, you see the same things as me, and sometimes you see different. It's kind of like a Rorschach test, right? Those are like those ink blotter tests where, a therapist or a psychiatrist or whoever administers these tests, they show you and then you tell them, oh, it looks like this to me. Well, there's no right or wrong answer, right? It really depends on who is looking at the thing. So it's really interesting because, whenever I do my reading, I see certain things. I go back, I'm doing the video later, and I see, so a lot of times I'll see the same things, but I'll see different things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's the same tea leaves, but it's, it shifts with experience. It shifts with different things going on in that moment, what you're thinking about, all this kind of stuff. So it's really quite interesting. Okay, let's see. So we do have, I'm going to pour this over here. Now we had a U. I just want to say we do have a U. Maybe a U name or last name. Here we have a lion. Okay. We have a lion. We have the letter T. Maybe somebody who is a Leo with a T name. We also have a person riding on the lion holding a flag. So I almost get this feeling of... we also have the Hanged Man. Okay, so we have this feel. I have a feeling, okay, maybe a Leo person, maybe somebody who is inclined towards like this solar heliocentric energy. Might also be that we have somebody just with the qualities, the attributes of a lion, right? I feel that this is somebody that you've had maybe a romantic partnership with, and maybe this has already happened, maybe this is currently happening, and it could be that this is somebody that you're going to meet. Now, I saw a person riding on the lion with a flag. So I do feel like it's almost kind of like conquering the heart, right? Winning somebody over or falling deeply in love with one another. You kind of plant flags in each other's hearts, right? But I also see the Hanged Man. So to me, what that says is that there's been the necessity for some major compromises. Things that you have had to maybe quit or change in your life, in the way that you live, so that you can honor this relationship. For me, the first thing I thought of is, and you all know, or at least most of you do, know that I'm married to the tarot reader Paul over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. Who's amazing. Go check him out. And actually, if you can see, we have a new set here. I just changed all my stuff. And now Paul has a new set too, which we changed the night before I changed this one. So we got that together. It looks beautiful. So go check out his new studio set on his readings. And but anyways, so in our relationship, and I don't think he would mind me saying this because we both talked about these things on our readings before. I'm in recovery, right? And he's also in recovery. So for us, it not that we had to get sober for one another. We both were in recovery when we met, but there are certain sacrifices, when you are a couple who is sober, where we are completely, abstinent people. Our house is dry. So we, sometimes you have to make these kinds of compromises for one another to keep the house in a, I can't be, if my husband started drinking or something like that, I couldn't be with him. And it's not because I don't love him, you know what I mean? But it's because, for me, I have to stay alive, right? And that's just a road for me that, I can't go down. I just know that's a hard boundary, right? So when I see the Hanged Man in this kind of context, sometimes there are things that we have to put aside, so that we can honor our connection to others, right? And sometimes it's worth it. Sometimes it's something that you're not willing to change, and that's okay, right? That's fine. And maybe the relationship can't work, but that's a choice that we all have to make, right? And there's no right or wrong way. But simply that these are choices, right? And so I see this and I feel like you've made some sacrifices for this relationship. Now, this maybe is one that did work out. Maybe it didn't work out. Maybe this was a learning experience. Like, yeah, there are things that I am willing to do and things I'm not. And, you know, maybe this wasn't one of them. Or maybe I feel that I should have done that. Maybe it would have been worth it in hindsight. But yeah, I do. I think it's something that it seems like when you think about this relationship, this is something that is kind of at the forefront of your mind. Okay. Now, let's do our Divine Doors cards. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. Beautiful. Oh, yeah, this is the one that has the moon right there in the middle. I love this one. Okay, it says, draw down the moon. The forest nymphs dance in sheer delight, singing soft songs. Find us in the wild. Good night. Oh, yes. Go running through those foresty places at night, looking for those nymphs, those satyrs, that bacchanalian, ecstatic wonderment. Sounds pretty beautiful. Sounds like Midsummer's Night Dream, actually. We're getting right into that era, right? And right into that part of the year. I'm interested in what everybody's doing for their solstice. Especially, what are you doing in the Southern Hemisphere? What are you doing for the winter solstice? I'd love to hear about it. Put it in the comments. All right, Taurus, I love you, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you, and if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, with that, I will tell you again, I love you. And I thank you for spending this time with me. It is always, well, usually it is the best part of my day. No, it is. I really look forward to the connections that come about these readings. Truly, truly. And so anyways, we'll talk soon. We will talk soon. Have a good day. Yeah, usually I'm good night, good night, good night. But yeah, today, no, it's like 5 a.m. Yeah. So have a good day. And if you're watching this at night, have a good night. All right. Bye-bye.